Need to regulate misleading ads. Do you know if there are, can you give any examples of, because you mentioned, for example, that there are laws that regulate free speech when it comes to hate crimes or things like that. So there are laws in other areas that have regulated free speech. Do you know of any examples, nationally or statewide, where there have been laws to regulate misleading ads as it relates to food consumption?
I'm not sure of any laws or legislation being
When I
made,
first
but I
came
do
here
know
to
that the
Carroll Morgan
FCC
School,
and the
one of the
FTC are the
things
ones
that we were evaluating was whether we were going to stay with the advanced placement
The
program
problem is that
or whether
they don't
we
know
were
where
going
to
to
draw
do
the
the
line.
International
They
Baccalaureate
don't know
program.
where
Because
which
I had many years
advertisements
of
are targeting
experience
children
running
under the age
schools
of
that had
8,
IB.
or how to
One
only
of
target
the
children above
decisions
the
that
age
was
of
made
8.
in my
They
early
haven't
years
really
was that
figured
we
that
were
out
not
yet. And so
going
the laws
to do IB
and
because of its costs.
legislation is very
But
loose.
there were
For
elements of
example,
the IB
Michelle
program that were
Kleinberg
really
was writing
excellent.
the law.
And one of them
How
was
might
an
you
exiting
well,
project
if it were up to
like
me,
Extended
no
Essay.
McDonald's, no Burger King, no ads on
That
television.
is
Honestly,
something that takes
that's what
place
I would
out
say.
of your classroom.
Have there
That's
been
done
examples
on your free
of
time,
other
and
kinds of
that
prohibitions
requires an
that maybe
evaluation
you could
by
draw on for that?
teachers and
I'm not
peers.
really sure.
And so
For
we decided
example,
that
haven't there been in relationship
we
to
would try
tobacco
to
and liquor?
incorporate
Oh,
some elements of what we thought was good
So there
education
you have
and
a
we wanted
model
to
that you
incorporate
might be able to draw.
But the thing is, tobacco and liquor are
That's
drugs.
kind of
No
how
one
it got
can
started.
justify food as a drug.
It started with one class.
So fighting the consumeristic
English teacher
economy of the United States, you're not very positive about
English
that.
class.
I just
as
say,
the
take all the
first
negative
experiment.
aspects that are going to affect our
And it
children
worked
negatively
really nicely,
out of
and
the
then
media.
we kind of moved it and expanded it from there.
Have there been any programs that you read about or found out about that are successful as far as getting kids more active or focusing more on education for them or anything like that? What are some success stories that people could maybe branch off with and maybe?
Well, in some organization, I didn't mention this in my PowerPoint presentation, or in my presentation, but I did mention in my paper. In Canada, there are programs used called, I think they're called walking school bus programs, that parents get children together from their community and they literally form a walking school bus. Instead of taking the school bus to school, their children engage in physical activity every morning and every afternoon to get to and from school. So by having these sorts of programs, children are engaging in physical activity without even really realizing it.
What are some of the factors in Bush's program Healthy 2010? What was the name of that program?
Healthy People 2010.
Healthy People 2010. What are some of the factors in that program that specifically relate to obesity?
Well, that program is based in Canada, so it doesn't really have anything to do with the United States. But it would be significantly, I think it would definitely help combat the obesity epidemic if institutions like that were put within the United States.
So I thought you were juxtaposing Healthy 2010 versus
Definitely.
$19 million being taken out of the budget for PE programs.
So as far as you know, the Bush administration has not set an actual goal to reduce the
No.
obesity.
Well, they say they have, and then they take budget cuts out of a place where we need physical education. So it counteracts it. You know?
So you think they should actually draw from the model of Canada? So
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Michelle, I thought your presentation was good, it was thoughtful, you spoke clearly, lots of eye contact, lots of physical gestures. Visual aids are good. I'm a little curious though about some of your, you were saying some things, but there wasn't a lot of data statistically to back it up. And I was just curious where you got that. In particular, I'm interested in knowing more about corporate roles. Singularly, you seem to have a very negative outlook about corporations, advertisement, but obviously corporations are doing positive things as well. Did you find any research that would speak to that positive influence that corporations are making? Because they're obviously making lots of contributions to medical research, to diet and nutrition. They have dietitians and nutritionists on their staffs. So it's not like they're unaware of what's going on nutritionally. They must be doing something to help educate the population.
But the focus of my paper is to show the negative effects corporations have on children. So I didn't necessarily research the positive effects they have. And I'm not, the school funding, for the most part, is the only positive effect I've researched that have on public school systems. But then again, it's not necessarily positive. Although public schools are getting money, these advertisements are being pushed into children's heads in school. But I didn't really research positive influences of the
Thank you for letting us.
Do you feel like standard essay is worth doing? Definitely. It definitely taught me a lot about my writing and a lot about how to write a term paper. And the presentation was definitely beneficial.
How did you prepare for your oral presentation?
A lot of practice. Practice, practice, practice. Stay up all night, keep clicking that PowerPoint presentation until you get it right.
And what do you advise next year's students to do?
Make sure you like your topic. I love my topic. I know everyone else who loved their topic did a great job.
How does it feel to get it over with?
Oh, it's such a relief. Whew.